Buenos dias. Thank you for watching this video. I just finished listening to some Spanish songs, so I greet you in Spanish because I'm in a Spanish mood now. But for you, this video, I want to talk to you about a common trick the enemy often uses. And this trick happens so often people don't even notice it. They don't. What the enemy, or I'm saying one of his demons, who works through other people, what he often does is the following. That unclean spirit who's using people who will approach you through those other people with what I would call a peace agreement. The attitude is, I don't bother you, you don't bother me, we easily get along, and we say hi, bye, that's it. And people tend to be okay with this type of peace agreement. Everyone goes their own way, nobody bothers one another, and we just make sure we get along on the practical external stuff. This type of peace is dangerous. It is practical, that's how it often goes in society, but it's dangerous. Let me tell you why it is dangerous. Because the enemy, because you look at the people that have this attitude, I don't bother you, you don't bother me. We just, everyone does whatever he wants, and that's it. It isn't like that. What those people really are out for is their own self-validation, as I mentioned that before. They say, I don't bother you, you don't bother me. You respect me, I respect you. We are cool. It doesn't work like that. They're only cool with you as long as your impact does not exceed their comfort zone. The moment you have an impact that overrules their comfort zone, there is no I don't bother you, don't bother me. Then there are no boundaries anymore, which didn't even exist at all. Because look at this. If your mind is not in line with Christ, it means that you're in line with the world. That means that you have thinking patterns that don't add up. But you can see they don't add up because they're worldly and they work. People who have this attitude, I don't bother you, you don't bother me, they are relief-centered. And they have an expectation that they expect you to hold on to. And they perform in order to keep you in that expectation. But are those expectations in line with Christ? No. So this is what happens. Behind those people, I'm not talking about those people, behind those people you have an evil spirit that is using these people to get you in this type of peace arrangement. And while you are in this peace arrangement, you do your thing, they do their thing. They coexist. Nobody bothers one another. But while this is going on, there's friction happening. Because those people can't have their will completely, and they're upset with that, but they just want to get along. But that tension of that will they're holding on to, where is it going? Demons are feeding off of it. And demons want to keep that contention going. So after a while, when things begin to escalate here and there, they will look for someone to put it on. They will look for someone or some group to transfer all that heaviness towards. But because you were in this arrangement of I don't bother you, you don't bother me type of stuff, you're not aware when things are escalating here and there because you're so busy with you and with your comfort zone. So this comfort zone centered peace that most people are looking after, it is a trap. It is the enemy handing you a gift, but the gift has a bomb attached to it. So that gift is really a time bomb, but the time bomb is so well hidden into the gift that you don't see it. Just look at it this way: you receive, let's say you receive a statue, a sculpture from, let's say you were on holiday, people handed you that as a gift. But in that sculpture you have a small, bomb, but you have a small explosive in it. And you take the statue with you. While you're in the taxi, driving, bang, an explosion. And then on news will hear there's a terrorist attack. Some terrorist blew himself up. No, it wasn't terrorist blowing himself up. Someone received a gift and There was a bomb in it, but the bomb was not detectable, and it went off suddenly. That is what the enemy often does. And this type of I don't bother you, you don't bother me, which is people holding on to their own will no matter what. They want to be the god of their own selves. That type of peace is no peace at all. It's just delayed war. That is what the status quo is. The status quo is delayed war. And when the tensions really get high, it's being transferred onto a collective, onto a target that's collectively agreed upon, and then things continue again. That is what they consider peace in this world. It's not peace at all. Yes, you should get along with other people, and as far as it depends upon you, maintain the peace around you. But just understand, when people hold on to the negative, they are in the negative, and unclean spirits have access to them to use them against you. Always remember this. Just because people don't attack you directly, or just because people know their place and they don't do anything stupid towards you, they don't look dirty or anything like, doesn't mean it's all right. It can be that those people decide, okay, we're going to treat this man or this woman the right way, but they're still in the negative, and they still have this wrong expectation towards you that you need to validate their will, whatever their will is. Some people have a negative attitude towards you. They can't stand you, and now they expect you to validate that will against your own well-being. Some people go very far with their will that they can't defend. That's how worldly people are. Now, look, you're not going to fight them all the time, because that is what the enemy wants, to keep you fighting those people. So the enemy has you in a negative. You're not doing that. But you're also not going to sit back and allow them to will whatever they will, and in being negative at ease. No. You anticipate the will of others. That's not witchcraft, it's just practical. Because the whole idea that people just have a will and should never change people's will, you also have to give space to people's will, that's garbage. Are you going to give the space to the will of a pedophile also? Are you going to give the space to have a will to a terrorist also? Or let's say a group of people are enraged and just want to kill one of their own to be relieved. Are you going to say, well, it's democracy, they have chosen to kill someone? Are you going to allow that? No. In liberal democracies, as you have in the West, even those atheist politicians, atheists will tell you, no, there are human rights. Even though we don't believe in God and the creator of it, there are human rights. You can't just kill someone because you are upset. Even they, who are anti-Christ, don't just give into this free will garbage. People just willing whatever they will. So why should you? And when people are enraged and upset, when their boundaries are violated, they don't care about your will. They just make plain, I don't want this. It's all about their boundaries. You know what? I'm fed up with people willing whatever they will, and others just saying you have to give into it. I'm telling you, anticipate stuff. Anticipate. Don't take that garbage piece that the enemy is offering you. As long as someone is not in agreement with Christ, the enemy can use them. I'm not saying the enemy will use them, but he can use them. And not everyone that's unsaved is evil-minded. No. But even if they're good-minded, they're still in the neck. They're still not in line with Christ. So that good that they want can be used against them, and the enemy can use their goodwill to cause harm also. Look, I'm not able to cover all the tricks of the enemy over here. The enemy has been raging for thousands of years. He has built up experience, so I'm not going to be able to cover all his tactics. But this one tactic here I'm exposed to you. This false peace tactic, beware of it. I'm not telling you to not receive people's apologies. Listen, as far as it depends on you, be at peace towards everyone. Just understand, you are at peace towards everyone. You're not in peace with everyone, because you cannot be at peace with everyone if they are not in peace themselves. That's not possible. No matter what, keep agreement with Christ, anticipate supernaturally. Be at peace.